If you're watching this video, you're probably thinking of switching your 9-to-5 jobs to a freelancing job. Hi, my name is B. Enriquez and welcome to Mom Day Grind Show, where we talk about wealth creation while being a wonder mom. If you like this type of content, consider subscribing to my channel and hit the notification bell so you will get notified for when I upload new videos. And also hit like if you find value, and you can also help the YouTube algorithm reach out to people who might want or need this content. In this video, we'll talk about how you can switch your 9-to-5 jobs to a freelancing job, because we have to admit that we are now entering a new norm. So we have to position ourselves now so you can benefit later. I'm not saying that you'll find the job right away. It will take time, and all of the tips that I'm going to talk to you are just basic, so you can start them right away. So before we begin talking about my tips on how you can get started without experience, or how you can become a virtual assistant with no experience, let me tell you about a little history about how I started as a virtual assistant. I have been working from home since 2008. When I gave birth to my third child, I decided I'm going to switch from working from the office to working from home. So I was an online teacher then, so I started working from home as an online teacher, and then come in around 2010, 2011, when virtual assistant jobs became very popular. So I luckily have some friends who are already in this type of career. So I asked them, how do I get started with this type of job while doing my online teaching? So luckily, they were looking for a virtual assistant who can help them, another team from the Philippines. So when I applied for the job, my friends, I'm very grateful for them, because they really guided me how I can get started with the job, and I have zero knowledge about it. So I was just guided by my friend, and also my cousin who was also freelancing that time, had to look for a replacement for her. So she trained me on how to do her job, which is just I think it was very easy. It was a part-time 4-hour it was a 4-hour job only. So I was doing SEO. I had no idea what that SEO meant that time, but she trained me on how to do it. So basically, I started with zero knowledge about how being a virtual assistant. I was an online teacher. I had no experience. What I did was just I tapped into people who are already doing this type of jobs, and I also did some research before I dive into a job that I want to apply for. So that's how I started. So I really didn't have an idea how to start this type of job before. So I was really, really lucky to have these people around me who are already starting this type of job, that they trained me so hard. So I started with zero knowledge, worked my way up, and learned different skills. There are so many resources in the internet nowadays. So you are very lucky. We are very lucky to have this. So yeah, so that's my history. I worked as a virtual assistant for, I think, 6 years. Yeah, for 6 years, from 2012 to 2018. April 2018 was my last virtual assistant job. So it was not easy to find these jobs, but you will get into it. You just have to learn. You have to be initiative, because that's what most of the clients want. One of the most popular freelancing job now is a virtual assistant. So what is a virtual assistant? A virtual assistant is someone who provides support services through remote location. So you don't have to be in their office. That's why most of the clients that we cater are from overseas, from the US, Canada, UK, Australia. So that's why they hire a VA. They don't need someone who will be there in their office. There are different types of virtual assistant. You can be a general virtual assistant, you can be a real estate virtual assistant, but most of the people, they look for general virtual assistant or executive virtual assistant. So as a general virtual assistant, you will have to do almost everything that that your client requires you. So for example, you work as a Gen VA, you have to do the social media management, you have to do some errands that they have to do, data entry, I cannot remember everything. You have a variety of tasks to do. So that's how I learned. As a general virtual assistant, I learned a lot of different stuff. That's why as years go by, I learned different skills. So with learning different skills, you can also apply for a job that has certain skills. So for example, a social media manager. So another is an executive virtual assistant. These are for coaches or for speakers, doctors. Yeah, they really require an executive VA to help them with their business, with their coaching services. Who uses virtual assistants? Almost everyone uses virtual assistants. Small businesses uses virtual assistant jobs. Startups, professionals, everyone is using a virtual assistant now. Especially these days, virtual assistants are really in demand. How do we get started? How do I get started as a virtual assistant? So the first thing that we need to do is to have, of course, a good internet service provider. We have a lot of better, internet service provider now compared to when I was starting. The internet services now are better, so you are very lucky that we have those resources now. So a good internet service provider is a must, and also a laptop. Some clients require certain specification for your computer. Some clients require MacBook user. Some require just a regular laptop user, as long as it's really fast and they can do a lot of stuff. Depending on the skills that you are going to apply for, you have to provide a laptop with that certain specification. So for example, if you are a video editor, of course you have to have a good laptop, right? So a very fast laptop, MacBook Pro. For me, that's what I use. So MacBook Pro is good for video editing. It really depends. So if you are just doing the Gen VA, mostly administrative stuff, a regular laptop will do. So you don't really have to have high-end laptop right away. You can start from the bottom and work your way up. That's how I started. I started with a PC, like the one with screen and the PCU. The PCU, and after a few years, I was able to buy a laptop. So that's how I started. I started with a PC. Once you have your setup ready, you then need to identify the skills that you can do right away. So for example, you're good at administrative jobs, you're good at event planning. So those are the people, or those are the skills that a client is looking for a VA. So you have to list them down as list as many skills as you can. So you will be surprised of how many jobs or how many skills they look for. They sometimes look for a specific skills that you will be surprised they are looking. For example, creating PowerPoint presentation. They look for people like specific tasks. that they are looking for. So you have to list down everything. So if you're good at creating PowerPoint presentation, if you're good at creating a sales process, those kind of processes, you have to list all of them down. So you have to list all of your skills down, because you will never know what kind of task a client is looking for. Next, number 3, my third tip is to decide on the niche. So a niche is like the specific client or specific industry that you want to target. For example, you want to target medicine. If you want to target medicine, if you want to target health and beauty, if you want to target education and training, it's really up to you on who you want to target. As for me, now that I'm starting again as a virtual assistant, I am very picky when it comes to a job that I'm applying for. I really look for someone who can inspire me, or a company that can inspire me. So mostly I look for education and training. So I don't just dive in and apply for a job. I review them, because now I'm just looking for a company that offers education and training. So you can also do that. You can start in a specific niche that you want to apply for. But if not, that's fine. If you want to get started if you want to serve everyone, that's fine as well. So that's how you will learn. But when I started, that's what I did before. I didn't have a niche. I just apply for everyone. So you can start doing that. But as for me, it's easier to target clients if you know what niche you want to serve. Number 4 is find a mentor. So a mentor is someone who can help you, who can guide you with getting started with this kind of career. So if you know a person, if you have a friend who are already in this type of industry, you can talk to them and ask them for advice. You can also, okay, so this is my 5th advice, is to offer your services for free. You can also offer your services to these people, to your mentor. It's like apprenticeship. So you can ask for a specific task that you want to do, and if they have unavailable, they can let you do it for maybe 1 or 2 days. Then with doing that, you can create your portfolio, because having a portfolio when you're applying for a virtual assistant job is very important. So that's what you do. You find a mentor and do apprenticeship. You offer your services for free. You can do this for around 1 to 2 weeks. And then you can also talk to that mentor and ask him or her if they can be your character reference. Okay, so that's my number 4 and 5. 4 is find a mentor. 5 is offer your jobs or offer your services for free, or kind of apprenticeship. Okay. Number 6 is create a stunning website. Now that you identify your skills, you identify your niche, you have experience doing these skills by offering it to a mentor, offering your services for free, you can now create your stunning resume. So how do we create a resume? Of course, we know how to create a resume, but now as a VA, you really have to be very visual. So you can be creative in doing this through Canva. That's where I created my new resume, because back then I was just using the Word document, and I have all these skills and my experiences, those kind of stuff. You don't really need a lot. You just need your experiences and your skills in there. So you don't really have to have a good educational background. You don't really need to put it there. But you really have to be creative when doing your resume. So I do that via through Canva. So I will link it down below. It's free. You can sign up for free. You can also do paid subscription. I've done that. It's really worth it. But for now, I'm not doing the paid subscription. So I'm doing for free. But there are so many resources and templates, everything. You can do it via Canva. Okay, so number 7 is getting clients. Of course, how can you find or how can you start if you don't have clients? Now that you have your experience ready, you have your resume ready, it's time for you to get to work and find your clients. So where do we find clients? First of all, the best platform for me when it comes to looking for a client is Upwork. Okay, so they have a lot of services, or they have a lot of clients who are looking for VAs. You can start there, create your profile. You really have to highlight your skills. You have to highlight your skills there, and you can start connecting to clients. Next is Online Jobs PH. I haven't done this, although I just created a profile with this, so I haven't really looked into the details yet, but it's one of the platform that you can use. Next is Freelancer.com. That's another one. And the best agency for me is Virtual Staff Finder Careers. So if you are going to look for, I will link down their Facebook page below, Virtual Staff Finder Careers, and that's where I got most of my precious clients, like the ones who really I worked with for years, and their clients are secured, and you will not worry about getting paid and all that. So most of my the clients that I got from that agency are really good. So that's why I highly recommend you to check out their Facebook page. They post jobs every day. Those are my tips. So just to give you a quick recap, first is to have a good internet service provider, and a computer, a laptop. Next is to identify your skills. Number 3 is to decide on the niche you want to serve. Number 4 is find a mentor. Number 5 is apprenticeship, or offer your services for free. Number 6 is create a stunning resume via Canva, or however you want to do it. Number 7 is to get clients from different online job platforms out there. I hope you learned from this video, and again, click like if you find this valuable. I hope you take your action and start. If you really want to position yourself now, you have to take an action. You have to do all these these are basic steps for you to start your freelancing career. If you have any other questions or suggestions on a video, comment it down below, and I will try to be responsive in all of your comments. And I will thank you again for watching, and I'll see you on my next video.